everything that I had learned up through school was by hand. And that's still kind of my default, is to kind of jump on a piece of paper and draw by hand. I'm Nick Dryden, and my craft is architecture. We are here in the studio at Dryden Architecture and Design in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm a third-generation architect. My grandfather and my father started their practice 95 years ago. My grandfather got a degree in fine art and studied under Louis Sullivan and Frank Lloyd Wright. Frank Lloyd Wright is considered one of the greatest American architects in history. It's kind of surreal. I mean, I never knew my grandfather, but I've gotten to know him quite a bit just through being immersed in his work. From an early age, I would follow my dad around to job sites. His office was very close to our house, so after school, I would find myself kind of under drafting boards with a lot of the architects in his office, and just really fascinated by the craft and the art of what was happening in that studio. The spirit of what we do here is very similar to what I remember in that studio space, which was just a very creative collective of architects and designers and artists. I've always been hooked by that. I moved to Nashville in 1996. Had initially thought I would go to a bigger market, New York, LA, Chicago, even London. I'd spent some time in London right after graduation. I'd grown up coming to Nashville, and I really learned quite a bit about the city and saw a lot of opportunity. In '96, there were something like 150 residents in the Central Business District, and I think today it's pushing 10,000 residents. There's something between 80 and 100 residents moving here a day. I think for a firm like ours, it gives us a lot of opportunity to really get involved in a pretty wide range of work. What defined our practice early on was not limiting ourselves necessarily to one project type, but really focusing on work that is helping sustain and revitalize the different neighborhoods in Nashville. Working on the historic Knoll Place Hotel downtown, which was built in the late 20s during the Depression and was built by a local family as a hotel, and it operated until the early 70s. We're leading the design on the whole project. The Knoll Hotel project is one of our largest projects that we've done to date. So many decisions go into a project like this. Before it's all said and done, we'll probably have about 2.5 years of commitment to that project. We've been practicing for 15 years, but even now we still operate as a startup, keeping a fresh outlook and perspective on the work that we do. If you kind of line up our projects, you could probably see some thread or common hand, but it's interesting, they're all really very different. Rather than one project, we have always looked at the impact that a collection of projects can make to the fabric of a neighborhood. I think a personal goal would be to build on the work that we've done in the last 15 years and to not just dominate opportunity like I think we see a lot of development happening right now. My goal has always been to maintain a size that we're still actually telling stories and doing great design and having great conversation and dialogue with our city and our clients, and where we're not just managing a company.